आप तो मुस्कुराते रहते हैं हमेशा, ये केवल कैमरा पे होता है कि कैमरा के पीछे भी होता है?
Well, I can say camera के पीछे भी होता है. The little time I've spent with you.
So who is the real Gaur Gopal Das ji? Right. For me, I've always identified with one thing in my life, and that one thing that I've identified with is being a servant.
Servant,
A servant, a das.
Right.
That's what my name says, Gaur Gopal Das. To serve. To serve, to try and help, to add value, to try and see if I can make a tiny little difference in the lives of people. Because at the end of the day, what really matters is how do we touch a life? Achievements, accolades, popularity, fame, numbers will all be forgotten. What will be remembered at the end of the day is how we deeply touched a heart. Now, Sanskrit is an amazing language because in Sanskrit, strong words can seem very soft.
Okay.
Like you want to call someone a donkey. In Sanskrit, you would say Vaishakhanandan.
Not Gadha.
Not Gadha. मतलब आप किसी को बोलिएगा हे वैशाखनंदन, उसको लगेगा कि आप उस पर कविता की रचना कर रहे हैं. Now please don't try it on anybody who's present here. They've heard it, but you could definitely try it on somebody when you go out. Try it this evening. They're going to feel flattered when you say hey Vaishakhanandan. Now if you were to use a term in Sanskrit for a cigarette, what would you say? You would say Shweta Patra Mandita Dhumra Shalaka. If you were to say an ice cream, what would you say? How do you call an ice cream? You would say Dugdha Sharkara Yukta Hima Ghanagula Gattu. You would order mango ice cream, you would say Amra Dugdha Sharkara Yukta Hima Ghanagula Gattu Anayaha. The ice cream would melt by the time you would order it. That's a huge term to use, ice cream. But I often
Sanskrit version of who you are.
Yes, I'm telling you about it. You know, when you're talking about an ice cream, philosophy behind the candle is give light to others before it melts. An ice cream melts and a candle melts. And ice cream is about enjoy your life and candle is about enlighten others' lives. Now I can't be a candle completely selfless. And nor should I be an ice cream completely selfish.
Okay.
I don't want to be selfish. I don't want to be selfless. I want to be selfishly selfless, where I care for myself in a way that I can serve others. So the Gaur Gopal Das Ji in real is an ice cream who likes to care for himself so that one day he can try and be a candle to serve and bring light to others. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I would say actually you are already a candle.
Oh, I'm trying my bit, man.
Honestly, thank you. But I have been actually trying, this is an answer to something I've been looking for. So you've been an electrical engineer, you've been in the corporate world with Hewlett Packard. What made you embrace monkhood? I mean, what was the... Right.
I'm great at it, absolutely phenomenal at it, I'm like absolutely smashing it. But do I see myself doing this for the rest of my life? And the answer was a loud, clear no.
Right.
I cannot, because this doesn't fulfill me. So the question was, what fulfills me? I didn't want to work with machines and systems. I preferred working with people.
Right.
So obviously the choices were study psychiatry, study psychology,
yes,
study behavioral economics,
Right.
organizational behavior, all to do with people.
Yeah.
And then I also found I had a spiritual calling. So I decided, could I find answers to the human condition in spirituality?
Right.
Which is when that twist came to my life that I said, okay, let me explore answers to life in spirituality where I combine my passion and my calling together. I did take an uncalculated risk.
Yeah, it's like jumping off the deep end.
Jumping off the fence.
Yeah.
Took an uncalculated risk, and youngsters who are listening to me here, please do not take uncalculated risks. Because you have real life family needs out. Suddenly all the risks that you took, you didn't see anything. You didn't see compatibility, you didn't see natures, you didn't see anything. You jumped into it. Andha ishq. And then suddenly reality dawns when you start sharing personal space with each other.
And bathrooms.
And bathrooms. And you start seeing the littlest things in each other. ये थोड़े जल्दी में हो गया लगता है. So when I looked at my path, it was mad love.
To the divine.
To that path.
To the path.
To the path. And because it was mad love, I took that uncalculated risk. Thankfully, when I landed up there, my risk worked in my favor.
Right, okay.
The eye opener was fantastic. If it wasn't, I still wouldn't have regretted. Because
How old
I was
were you then?
21.
Wow.
Because I was still true to my calling then.
Right.
है ना? इसीलिए मैं कई बार कहता
Gratitude and humility, you embrace that too. And so a lot of the audience here, they love you because what they've said is that you bring things across in such a simple, practical way. You really make spirituality, if you want to call it, accessible, right? And I want to come to this book now. So, energize your mind. We are, I would say, living in an age of anxiety, right? And with the pandemic, it's really got accelerated. A guru, I would have thought, would actually say, now, you have in your exercises spoken about meditation also, but there are a lot of other small practical nuggets. And coming to emotional well-being, what you speak about, emotional agility, right? The importance of, I remember the three things you said: feel, deal, and heal. Would you like to share a little bit about this, about why it's important to become aware and express our emotions, and how to use them in a constructive way for our growth then?
Thank you very much again for that question. Years ago, one of my mentors, he told me about what Albert Einstein once said. He said, the sign of a genius is not in making simple things complicated, it's in making complicated things simple.
Yes.
And far from genius, but learning to follow the genius like Albert Einstein. To put things in a complicated jargon, you have to hold yourself back when you can say it.
Right.
But to put things in a very simple manner where it's relatable, contemporary, doable, is something that I felt is so crucial, because it touches a chord, strikes a chord in your soul, goes there and inspires you to take some action. So that's probably why I just try and make it as simple as I can. But how does one really get to that emotional agility, emotional well-being? It's such a big thing, isn't it? John Milton said, the mind by itself is a place. It can turn heaven into hell and hell into heaven. How many of you have had this experience that you were in the best surrounding, but somebody really trashed you by insulting you, and the best surrounding was a cause of pain? Thank you. And how many of you have this experience that you were in the worst possible surrounding, but with the best people whom you love, and the experience was like fantabulous? And what was doing it? The place? The mind. And which is why more important than our ability is aloo or dhokla. Gosh, I must tell you, तभी कभी याद आता था, याद आ गया मुझको गुजरा जमाना, खुशबू भीनी भीनी, जायका शहाना, इंडाना घी. This was an advert for Indana ghee when I was growing up, and I was remembering, oh man, I just landed up here. But I'll tell you, in that journey, and this is something that I also want to share with all of you, what I learned in those years. Those were the formative years of my monkhood, and I learned one thing very crucial, and I believe strongly that it will help you immensely in your lives and whatever journey you've taken up for yourselves. All the distractions we see on our path are only because our eyes are not fixed on our purpose and our goal.
Right.
So if anything that I feel is inconvenient, it's because my eyes are wavering away from what I've come here for. If I'm here for a purpose and my mission, my eyes, my concentration, my focus is completely on what I'm meant to get, then I'm going to be able to handle those inconveniences. अरे inconveniences किसकी life में नहीं होती है दोस्तों? Is there any time in our life that we won't have inconveniences? There will always be some problem. There will always be some inconvenience. Always. How many of you have problems in your life?
Everyone.
How many of you want a solution for problems in your life? Take up your smartphones, guys. Go to your wallpaper settings. Change your home screen and your lock screen wallpaper to the picture of your spouse if you're married, and to the picture of your boyfriend or girlfriend if you're not married. If you're in a relationship, and whenever you have a big challenge like my food, my sharing space, just pick up your phone and look at it like this. And say to yourself, if I can handle this, I can handle any damn thing in my life.
Well done. Thank you.
Just joking, guys, just joking. So the point is, challenges, problems, distractions will go to the side when attention is on what we are meant to achieve. Challenges, distractions will seem very prominent when our eyes are off our goal. That's what I kept aligning myself with, and inconveniences just melted away, withered away, and everything became such a part of life, such a joyous life today, even the bhopla and the aloo.
No, thank you. So we were at the point where you said that for your own spiritual growth, you embraced monkhood, and you started your journey then, a difficult one, which you, well,
चल जाता है और जब सच्चाइयाँ दिखने लगती है तब पता लगता है अरे ये तो पहले नहीं सोचा था. So I just jumped in. I came to the ashram. We have to wake up around 3, half 3 in the morning.
wow.
And that wasn't a big deal because I was used to waking up early in the morning.
When did you sleep?
When do I sleep? Oh, when did I sleep then?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, around 10, quarter past 10. Not too bad.
So about 5 hours.
About 5 hours, sometimes 11, half 11 based on the day, but approximately like 10, quarter past 10. So sleeping, getting up was not an issue. It was like cakewalk, was a part of life. The first thing came was sharing physical space.
With a stranger.
With 80 strangers, madam. शादी होती है तो एक होता है. एक इधर 80 लोग. And we didn't have any space. We just had one hall, like a dorm, and this dormitory had 80 guys lying next to each other. And we had 2 zones.
Okay.
2 zones in this hall. One was called the fanatic zone,
Okay.
and the other was called the non-fanatic zone. I was a die-hard fanatic.
Okay.
Because all those who needed fans were called fanatics. And all those who didn't need fans were called non-fanatics. And Mumbai, you know how you met Mumbai?
Yes.
So I was a die-hard fanatic. So sleeping under this fan next to 60 other guys on my side. Some used to ride Harley Davidsons in the night. You know what I mean? Like insane noise by their snoring. That wasn't easy. But this was still okay. But the worst was, I was a pampered boy. I never had anything in my life to eat unless it was according to my dictates. If I told my mom and she didn't cook what I wanted, I never ate it in my life till I was 21. Never. Not once. Not once in my 21 years did I eat anything that was made by them but wasn't of my choice. Pampered to the core. And here I come to the ashram. Community kitchen में बनाया हुआ 100 लोगों का खाना. No choice. No choice. And we didn't have much then. So the kitchen in charge would bring all kinds of vegetables that were leftovers. हर रोज 2 सब्जी बनती थी दोपहर में. आलू और भोपला. Exotic vegetables. Exotic vegetables. The stability of our mind. We focus so much on our abilities that we forget that we need to bring out stability to our mind. And here's what I often say, ladies and gentlemen. How much is this phone? How heavy is this phone? 100, 150, 200 grams? Right? If I hold this phone on my palm for like 5 minutes, I could probably do it, right? If I hold it in my palm like this for the rest of the session, it's going to start hurting my wrist.
Yeah.
If I hold this palm like this, exactly like this for the rest of the day, my hand probably starts getting a little wobbly, a little shaky. My wrist starts getting numb. Imagine if I hold this phone for the rest of the week. My wrist will probably start paralyzing. Is it the weight of the phone or how long am I holding it?
How long am I holding it?
How long am I holding it?